Jeremiah chapter 2. We're talking about last week the other nations, the heathen nations around there, around Israel. You know, they didn't worry about changing gods. They had so many gods. Pick a god. Name a god, pick a god. For their worship, for all the Babylon, Egypt, well, later on Rome, Greece, they all had, everybody has, I guess you could say even our Native Americans, they have, but they don't get all flustered about changing their gods, but Israel, okay, and God does not like this. God is a jealous God. He does not like, if you will, one of His children, His chosen children, who should be worshiping Him, and who should realize just how much, He has done for them. We need to realize just how much God does for us every single day. Okay? And if we realize that, why should we go around picking other gods? Okay? Verse 11, hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? We can go around, worshiping whatever we want, money, things, stuff. Worship your stuff, and that's your God. But if we change our gods and turn our backs on the one true God, we're in big trouble. Okay? And verse 13, for my people have committed two evils. The heathen nations only commit one evil. Okay? They're following idols anyway. But two evils, they've turned their back on the one true God and worshipped idols. So that forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. They pick get a jug, fill it with water, and worship that jug filled with water when it's got holes just like a sieve, and the water just runs right out. No good for anything. We come down to verse 14. Okay. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Okay. It was Israel's glory to be Jehovah's servant. And it's our glory also, even though, we are Gentiles, but when we worship the one true God, it's our glory that, that we worship the one true God, and it's to His glory that we worship Him. So, is Israel, Israel, if you will, could be said to be a homeborn servant. Homeborn servants were treated a whole lot better than homeborn servant. I got to try and get what I'm trying to say here. The homeborn servant or a slave that has been captured from somebody else. Okay, yeah, there we go. Homeborn servant. Children of Israel were homeborn servants. They were not captured slaves. Okay, God did not put them into slavery. Okay? He chose them to be his servants. And again, servants treated a whole lot better than captured slaves. And Israel was going to find this out. Remember, we're about 14 years ahead of the captivity right now during Jeremiah's time. About 14 years. Israel is going to find out in about 14 years, again, what it's going to be, slaves again. And, they spent 400 years before the Exodus, when Joseph took them down, because of the famine, got them down there, and 400 years in slavery in Egypt. But they decided, I think a lot of them decided, after 400 years of slavery, well, maybe slavery's not so bad. We get what did they say? Garlics and leeks. Well, we're missing the food stuff that we had there in Egypt. We're missing all of that. Yeah. And would you rather be a slave or a free servant, if you will? And is he a homeborn slave? No. Why is he spoiled? Now this, I was looking at this question, this third question here. Why is he spoiled? It's not being spoiled like, some grandfathers spoil his twin granddaughters. Buy them everything, do everything. It's not that kind of. It's the kind of spoiled, as in when Nebuchadnezzar moves in, takes over, he spoils the land, and he takes the, if you will, the spoils of war. It's that. Why is he spoiled? Why is he degraded? Why is he beat down? Why is he a slave now? That kind of spoiled. Ruined. Why? Yeah, ruined. There we go. Ruined. Or let any kind of fruit sit on your counter for too long, and it's spoiled. Okay, that's the kind of spoiled he's asking here. Why is he spoiled? Why is he ruined? Why is Israel ruined? So why has that happened? And the young lions roared upon him, and actually a lot of this, this is desolation. Okay, a lot of this refers back to when in 2 Kings chapter 17, when the Assyrian Empire in 730 BC, remember the Assyrians moved in first and took Samaria, captured Samaria, which would be the northern 10 tribes. Took them all out. 12th year of Ahaz in 2 Kings chapter 17. 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hosea to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. He did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. King of Assyria found conspiracy, so he sent messengers. And down in verse 5, the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. And all of Samaria was taken captive. This is what he's kind of referring to, Jeremiah is this past history. This has happened before. Over and over in the Bible, what Israel does, has happened before. It keeps happening to Israel. they turn away from God, they come back to God, they turn away from God, and right now they are in big trouble because they have turned away from God. The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. That's what happens when the Assyrians moved in, and now we've got the Babylonians. Remember, Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians, they took over the Assyrian Empire. Okay? They just moved in, took it over, and now Babylon is knocking on the doorstep of Israel, and the same thing is going to happen. Okay? Also, we come down here. Also, the children of Noph and Tahpanhes, Tahpanhes, there we go, have broken the crown of thy head. And now, Noph, a lot of the Bible scholars and archaeologists and all of that, this Noph here, children of Noph, is actually Memphis in Egypt. Okay, it's situated extreme south of Egypt, and some assume that it's Memphis. Okay, and Tahpanhes. So many of these words in the Bible, 3 times fast. Say them 3 times fast. Have broken the crown of thy head. Tahpanhes is a border town. It's towards Palestine, and I kind of had to look it up. Tahpanhes is, it's in the Egyptian Delta, the Nile Delta area there, and it's about 9 miles west of the Suez Canal, which back then didn't exist. So it's about 9 miles west of the Red Sea there in the Delta area. And after the destruction of Jerusalem in 586, Nebuchadnezzar appointed a governor over the remnant of Judah. Okay. Remember the first time he came in, Nebuchadnezzar came in twice. First time he was on his way to Egypt, and Jerusalem was in the way, and this was when a lot of the Israelites were taken captive, including Daniel and his friends, those guys, okay, and about 10,000 other children of Israel. Nebuchadnezzar moved in and appointed this governor, and then this governor was assassinated, and the second time Nebuchadnezzar comes in and Jerusalem gets destroyed, okay, it comes down that Jeremiah is going to end up in this Tahpanhes. Okay? He's going to have to flee from the siege of Jerusalem during that time. So, and anyway, so that's where Tahpanhes is, and where it's going to figure in Jeremiah's life further on down the road. So, and this idea, children of Noph and Tahpanhes have broken the crown of thy head. Now that broken the crown, what? That has to do with, if you will, their hair. Okay. This idea of broken the crown of thy head, to make it bald. Okay, like if you will, the crown of my head has been broken, right? Made bald. Well, I'm not completely, but anyway, getting there fast. And baldness was actually accounted by the Jews as a sin, as a sign of disgrace. Yeah. Somewhere, I can't remember exactly where, there is a mention of who was it? Somebody.
The emissaries got sick.
Yeah. And they had their heads shaved, and yeah. So it was this, okay, where was that? Homework assignment, where was that in the Bible? Can't remember. Somewhere. So, and it's a mark of mourning, okay? And later on, the Egyptians, remember, Jeremiah is during the reign of Josiah, and Josiah gets killed, and Jerusalem gets captured, and this it brought ruin and disgrace and sorrow upon the Jews. Okay, so that's this idea of broken the crown of my head, like they've been shaved. And either way, this is where am I here? Hast thou also the children have broken the crown? Hast thou not procured this unto thyself? Okay. This misery, this sadness, you've done it to yourselves. And God tells them over and over again, hey, it's your fault. It's not God's fault.